Steel frame, pure diamond geometry with 100% horizontal top tube, curved blades on the fork, drop bars, fat tires, mudguards, dynamo lights, and a little front handlebar bag. That's what I had in mind when I was thinking of building a light touring bike or randonneur bike, and this is the result. The idea behind is a bike that has some of my favorite features of classic randonneur bikes and some of my favorite modern technologies. The bike is going to be used for light touring, 1-day or 2-day rides, covering relatively long distances with a light setup. So the bike needs to be a good compromise between performance and comfort. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the custom-made frame set, the geometry, the tubing choices, the building technique, the compatibilities, and the price. I'll make a separate video for the full build and all the components choices. I'll put the link somewhere here as soon as I have it ready. I'm Francisco from Bicycle Picnic, let's get into it. This is Gaetan, and he is the builder of my frame. We were colleagues for a while working at a repair shop here in Brussels, and now he has his own frame building workshop called L'Écurie. He was keen to take on this project and we worked together on the concepts. Geometry. The essence of a pure classic diamond geometry is a horizontal top tube. This is a very noticeable feature that most modern bikes don't have. The vast majority of the bikes that you'll see today in the market have sloping top tubes, and there are good practical reasons for that. One bike size can fit a wider range of riders as the range of adjustment of the saddle is bigger and the standover clearance is less of an issue. But as this is a custom frame, I know exactly the standover I need, so I can go for a perfectly horizontal top tube so that I can achieve the classic diamond geometry I'm looking for. For the riding characteristics, I'm replicating the geometry of a Surly disc tracker for the front end of the bike. It's actually a handling that seems very natural to me. For the rear end though, I wanted something more reactive than the Surly disc tracker, and as I'm not going to be using rear panniers on this bike, I asked Gaetan for the shortest possible chainstays, still leaving enough room for 650B wheels with 50mm tires plus mudguards. These are the key numbers for the geometry of this bike. The fork. Traditional forks with curved blades are very good at absorbing shocks, but they've been almost completely replaced by straight blades because they are easier, faster, and cheaper to produce. For this build, we are using a beautiful traditional fork with curved blades and a twin-plate fork crown. The pivot is compatible with 1-inch threaded headsets, which is the headset standard compatible with classic quill stems. The fork has all the mounts I could potentially need for installing a small rack, the tubing. For the main triangle, we are using double-butted Reynolds 631, which is tough, durable, and comfortable. 631 frames are particularly suited for long-distance riding, so perfect for what I'm gonna do with this bike. And as you can see, it's a little bit stronger than Reynolds 525, which is basically the same as 4130 chromoly. The other option was Reynolds 853, but that would have increased the price for no significant advantage, since I'm not gonna be loading this bike, and I myself am a light rider, so I don't need a stiffer or stronger frame than what 631 can offer. The diameter of the tubes are traditional, and here you can see a comparison with other frames. The main reason for bigger diameters is the increment of rigidity and strength. The downside of that is the loss of suppleness and comfort that all traditional steel frames used to have. For this build, we are going for the traditional diameters. That's probably slightly less efficient, but very supple and comfortable. Also, traditional diameters will keep the classic aspect of the bike. The weight. The complete frame set, including the headset, weighs 3 kilos, 170 grams, which is pretty good actually. The technique. The building technique is called fillet brazing and is very common among small production workshops because it's one of the easiest techniques to start frame building and also because the equipment is more affordable than TIG welding. Using fillet brazing helped us to keep the project at a relatively low price, the tire clearance. The size of the wheels will be 650B, with a maximum tire width of 50 mm plus mudguards. This tire width is perfect for comfortably riding all sorts of gravel roads, and with the right type of tire and air pressure you can also be fast on tarmac. Having enough room for mudguards is very important to keep the bike and myself clean when it rains, and here in Belgium it rains a lot. The headset. The frame's head tube is compatible with 1-inch headsets and the fork's pivot is threaded. These are the traditional standards that will allow me to install a beautiful classic quill stem. Brake compatibility. One thing that I love about modern bikes is disc brakes. They are powerful and have good modulation, and they don't mess with tire clearance. This frame is compatible with IS disc brakes. Classic details. Everything is on the details, and this frame set has some beautiful details that you would only see on traditional classic bikes. The brake housing guides are braced on top of the top tube. The seat stays join the seat tube externally, and the seat tube clamp is integrated. The price. For a frame set like this at Gaetan's workshop, you'll be paying something between 1,300 euros to 1,500 euros without the paintwork, which is really not expensive for a custom frame. I decided to leave the frame set unpainted because I like the color of the metal and I like to see the brazings, but I protected it with a coat of matte transparent varnish on the outside and fluid film on the inside. This is gonna keep the frame rust free. I hope there was some value for you in this video. Like and subscribe if you want to support the channel, and see you next time.